Good morning, Bill. I see some Billy. Good morning. Let's get some music going here, Pops. Good morning, Nerdy. There we go. Good morning, Niffy. And Richard. I see Richard this morning. Good morning, Richard. Wazzy, Matt. Good morning, Matt. Sandy. Who else is here? Mr. Marmars. Who else? I'm trying to go backwards here. Who else is here? Good morning, everybody. And a good morning it really is. Good morning. Who do I see? Was that Robert? Robert, good morning. Wazzy, Meow Catzilla HB, Sir D. Good morning, all. Take a few minutes to say hello to each other this morning. Good morning. Mr. Phillips, isn't the week flying by fast? I woke up early this morning. I said, it's Wednesday already? Wow, Santa, what a fast week. It's Wednesday already? Okay, where are we at? Good morning, everybody. Niff, it's flying. This is a fast week. Really fast week. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Justin, 39. You're going to remember it as the worst birthday ever. That's a crying shame, Justin. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry. 39, I thought you were going to be about 20, 21 years old. Not because of any immaturities, it was just an assumption. See how you make assumptions and they're actually rarely correct. Good morning. Happy birthday yesterday to Justin. Hey, you guys. Would you guys please say happy birthday to Justin? It was yesterday, but he can have it today with us. Happy birthday to Justin. Happy birthday to the flower. Happy birthday. Yesterday was his hour. Happy birthday to Justin LF. Thank goodness. He's the best we have left. A happy birthday to Justin LaFlower. Happy birthday. He's got all the power. Happy birthday, Justin. Happy birthday to you. Okay. You should have told us yesterday, Jay, and we would have made your day. Good morning. Sandman. Derek Anderson wants the link. Good morning to Melody. I see Melody out there. Sue, Little Meyer's happy. Laura, she's just flat out divine. If you knew Laura, you'd know she's divine. Good morning. Yeah, everyone's saying good morning to Laura. She recently had a big loss with her mom. So, rest in peace. Sometimes we go to better places. Especially if we were suffering in the last few years. Good morning, 30 people. Good morning, Mel. Grand rising to you, my friend. 30 people, 16 likes. What does that say mathematically? One person over 50% is happy they're here. Mel, happy birthday to Mel today. Happy birthday. All the way, Mel, it's her birthday today. Happy birthday to Mel, indeed, happy birthday. Anybody gonna see Mel for her birthday? Happy birthday, Mel, today. Happy birthday. Good morning. Good morning, nerdy. Mel, not Melody, it's Mel's this time, HP. It's Mel's birthday. Mel. Good morning, Mel. Mel, if you feel like giving me a write on my email, you can do that. You can do that if you need to. Justin, you too. Why don't you two send me your addresses? Why doesn't Justin LaFlower send me an address, and Mel send me an address? The Detroit Mush Lab at gmail.com. Herbie has just written how to reach it. You guys send me your addresses, and I'm going to send you a little bit of enigma for you to try at your convenience with the proper set and setting. Okay? What's happening with Laura now? Justin, you're sitting pretty. That's good. We'll just we'll work with Mel and give it something else away to somebody today. Okay? What's going on with Laura? Wait. I'm trying to see what happened with Laura. Wazzy, don't forget to hit the like button. No birthday suits, Jesus Christ. That'd be kind of scary. No. I was Melody Dawn's mom. Melody Dawn's mom. I'm sitting there looking for what was Laura. That was Melody Dawn's mom. But wait, did Laura lose her mother too? Laura, I haven't heard that. We're planning on seeing Laura towards the end of summer. She's on our maybe drive-by list. Good morning. Okay, Laura, okay. Little confusion. We were talking about Melody Dawn's mother, and I'm probably the one responsible for mixing things up. I apologize. Okay. That's okay, Melody. You're coming from a beautiful place. Captain Obvious, that's what we're thinking about. We're thinking about mush trips. But you guys are going to have a great weekend at the Rocky Mountain Mush Fest. Are you guys getting ready for that? Nerdy, how's things looking? How do things look for that situation in Pueblo? Pueblo. It's very close to Pueblo, Colorado. I'm wishing we were there, but we're doing other things. Busy as can be. Pueblo. Checking in after 3 tomorrow. Okay, gosh, I bet you my package isn't going to make it to you then in time. That's a bummer. But anyways, everything works out. Pueblo, Colorado. Okay? People, Wobbly. Some people call it Pueblo. Okay? It might make it nerdy. We'll see, right? If it's supposed to be, it is. We sent Nerdy at least a quarter pound of Enigma to share out to anybody and everybody at the Mush Fest that's there. So if it makes it, that would be great. Okay? We'll see if it makes it. And then he'll have all kinds of Enigma. Some people call it. Mel, I got your email. Good job. Send me your address at that email. Same email. Send me your address, and we will be sending you a pack of supplemental supplements. Okay? Sanam, you made caps for the dose table? That sounds wonderful. What size caps did you make, Sanam? What size did you use? 0, 00, or 000? Which size are you using there? 0s, 00s, or 000s? Sanam's out there making it happen. You think they're doubles. Okay, that's the ones we use. That's the ones we make. Is 00s. And we try to really compact it and press it. And we get about 200 milligrams or 0.2 of a gram in each microdose. And that seems to be a very solid, good microdose number for us. Yes. Face Oscar, I think that the world isn't quite round. I think we've proven it's not a complete perfect sphere, but it's definitely not flat. Yeah, we've kind of learned that one already. But, a lot of people have their opinions and they have a right to them. We typically don't have obtuse. Is that the right circle? Is that what it's called, Sanam? But sometimes those kind of conversations turn divisive, argumentative, and we'll just avoid that altogether. Everybody can think anything they want. Okay, whatever works for your spiritual maturity. That's all we need. We just want to be growing spiritually. And oftentimes certain kind of conversations retard our ability to grow. Okay, because we get caught up in the I'm right and you're wrong game. Okay? Oh, that's funny, Jesus Christ. That's pretty darn funny. Your history teacher told you every day that we came from monkeys and God was created for hope. Okay. Yep. No religious talk here. We don't do religion. But that's okay. Religion, politics, all of that is a good place for that is among your friends and colleagues. Okay? That's a very good place to have those conversations. 36 people, 32 likes. You guys are doing a great job. You want to hear something really sad? Who wants to hear something sad? There shouldn't be very many people with the thumbs up on that one. typically we don't want to. I can't wait to hear something sad. So maybe I should introduce it differently, right, Derek? Maybe I'll introduce. Do you guys? I have been reading about something. No, you guys. That's the right answer, Robert. No, not really, Pops. No, you can save your sad news. But this is something maybe we should know about. Okay? Let's know about this. Check this out. Oh, shoot. Anybody know who this little guy is? Who is this little guy? And don't say he's one of my relatives. We don't look that much alike. But what do you think this little guy is? What is this little guy? Everyone thinks it's a Colorado River toad. It's a Sonoran desert toad. That's correct, RX. And don't you think he's adorable? I do. There aren't very many of them left. They're going away. There aren't very many left. New research suggests that the Sonoran desert toad went into a steep decline after stories of their mind-bending chemical properties began circulating among drug users. Good morning, Nerdy. Let's look at the article. Niffer, that's right. It looks much like any other toad. It's plump and green, with warty brown spots. Wait a minute. Wait, maybe I am a relative. Wait, I'm getting warty brown spots as I get older. Wait, is Pops half Sonoran desert toad? If I am, do me a favor. Don't lick me. Okay? Wait, don't lick me. Especially my forehead. Okay? Maybe I am related. Okay? Now that I think about it. Let's put those pictures up side by side again. When threatened, the Sonoran desert toad does something extraordinary. It secretes a powerful psychedelic compound from specialized skin glands. It creates this psychedelic compound on its skin, and he hopes that the prey, or the predator, the one that's trying to eat him, goes into like a psychedelic shock, and he's having a trip, and he's like, that is a toad. I'd never want to lick the forehead again. I'm not going to lick that guy's forehead. That potent chemical defense might now be a liability for survival because of a spike in interest in psychedelic drugs. It had this evolved defense mechanism that's now making it attractive to kill it. It's working the exact opposite. Thank you, humans. Trapping in Mexico has decimated several populations of the amphibians and has sent others into steep decline. According to a new findings presented at Psychedelic Science, a psychedelics-themed conference held in Denver last month. In just over a decade, okay? I know, Sue. Let everybody line up and just lick Pop's forehead. Oh, that sounded weird. Okay, in just over a decade, We put this species at risk of extinction in the name of healing and expansion of consciousness, said Annie Ortiz, clinical therapeutics lead at the USONA Institute, which is a nonprofit research organization based near Waukee in Madison, Wisconsin. This organization focuses on psychedelic drugs for medical use. Combined with habitat loss and other anthropogenic threats like climate change, widespread toad abuse is creating a triple whammy for the species. Scientists chemically identified the psychedelic compound 5-MeO-DMT in Sonoran desert toad secretions in 1967. Niffer, it's toad abuse. It's also pop forehead abuse. You guys could easily abuse my forehead. Okay, so we gotta watch out. Until recently, few people bothered the amphibians or were even aware of their psychedelic properties. That changed in 2014, Dr. Ortiz said, when U.S. media outlets and others began publicizing the fact that the toad's secretion could be smoked to induce a brief but intense high. So I'm freaking out just a little bit. Who was the first person to take dried desert Sonoran toad secretions, dry them, turn it into a powder, and puff? Who were the first ones? Now, many of you are going to say, oh, indigenous Indians. They've been doing it for thousands of years. Not so fast, my friends. Okay? Not so fast. Who would have been the first person to do that? Like, I know what I should do. I mean, it's bad enough to lick the toad, but now I'm gonna get dried secretions. The word secretions creeping me out. Did you know that? I'm just saying the word secretions, and I'm like, I wish there was another word. Give me another word for secretion. Somebody look up some kind of a word. I don't want to say secretions. I keep saying secretions. Give me a different word. Okay? Excretions. No, it's too creasy. Give me another word. Moist. Production compound. John Zook. Justin killing it. A derivative. Okay, Nerdy's just going straight to its toad sweat, pops. This is getting creepier and creepier. Who dried toad sweat and decided to smoke it? Okay, let's get back to the article. Ew. Okay, ew. Many of these accounts also frog gravy. Oh my goodness. Many of these accounts perpetuated a false narrative that toad medicine was an ancient practice of indigenous tribes living in the Sonoran Desert. But no evidence supports this claim, said Dr. Ortiz, who conducted research on the molecule as part of her dissertation at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. But as stories about the drug spread, 5-MeO-DMT became an increasingly popular for-profit offering by self-described shamans, New Age healers, and underground practitioners around the world. Self-described shaman. I'm a shaman, So it's okay if I gather toad sweat, kill a few toads, get their sweat, and if I extinct a species, hey, that's what most shamans do. Really. Shamans are supposed to extinct species, are they? So, well, of course, so we can create toad churches. Toad churches, I'm telling you. Toad churches are where people can go to smoke the compound. They began popping up around the United States, including California, Minnesota, Texas, Wisconsin, and other states. In the United States, 5-MeO-DMT is mostly banned as a Schedule I controlled substance, since it's defined as having no currently accepted medical use, and it has a high potential for abuse. Some groups secured a legal carve-out under the Religious Freedom Restoration Act by declaring the drug a sacrament, Dr. Ortiz said. To supply the growing market, people began breeding and raising toads at home in their basement. No, they didn't. What they started doing was showing up in Mexico, asking for the toads, said Dr. Ortiz, who grew up in the area. This led to the locals seeing it as an economic commodity. Well, why wouldn't they? You got a bunch of Americans coming down there looking for toads? I got a bag of toads right here for you. Many Mexican ranchers now amass toads, keeping them in buckets and bags to sell to foreigners to take back home. The animals suffer appalling injuries and stress from being kept in captivity and repeatedly milked for their secretions. Sweat. The species currently has no protections in Mexico and is listed as being of the least concern on International Union for Conservation of the Natural Red List of Threatened Species. They could care less about the toads. Dr. Ortiz feared that the pressure on the toads was creating a serious new threat, so she reached out to Georgina Santos Barrera, a professor at the National Autonomous University of Mexico, to collaborate on a conservation assessment. Between 2020 and 2024, they conducted annual nocturnal visits to 9 sites in Sonora State and 1 in Chihuahua. In total, they found an estimated 400 adult toads and 2,000 juveniles. At least 3 major populations seem to have disappeared, and several others appear to be in serious decline. The toads the researchers did find were also significantly smaller than the ones observed in years past. This is concerning, Dr. Ortiz said, because large toads have the greatest reproductive capacities. The right conditions were there, but the big specimens were just gone. Sonoran desert toads, which are also known in the United States as Colorado River toads, somebody said that, play key roles as both predators and prey. As the population declines, I'm sure we'll observe big ecological problems, said Santos Barrera. Already she and Dr. Ortiz have heard anecdotal evidence that crop-eating insects have surged in recent years. The toads are not there, so the bugs are not being kept in check. Once their findings are published, Mrs. Santos and Dr. Ortiz plan to ask the International Union for Conservation of Nature to adjust the toad's conservation status. They hope that this will lead to Mexico issuing national protection for the species. The United States has already nominated the Sonoran desert toad to be subject to international trade regulations under the Convention of Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. It is going to be voted on this November. But protection and trade regulations can only go so far. What is really needed, Dr. Ortiz said, is to persuade psychedelic users to turn away from toads. Synthetic 5-MeO-DMT, identical to the natural version, is currently available, Dr. Ortiz said. The molecule can also be extracted from certain plants. Yet many practitioners insist that the toad-derived secretions are preferable because they are natural, Dr. Ortiz said. Some also insist that the secretions contain other chemicals that contribute to the drug experience. In fact, the other compounds that toad produce are cardiotoxins with no mind-altering properties, according to Dr. Ortiz, who did her dissertation on this exact compound. Dr. Ortiz said there are no added benefits for using toad secretions. That's the toad. I just told you guys the total story. Boy, can we mix things up around in the human realm, huh? Somebody licked a frog, and the next thing you know, every frog in Mexico is going away. I got an idea. Let's bag them up and sell them. Why don't you just, what's that tree that you get the bark from? What is that tree that you get the bark from, you guys, for DMT? We did it about 3 years ago. We did it live on a Discord channel, a group of us. What is it? It's not, that's it, the Mimosa hostilis, something like that, mimosa. You get that bark. It's like a red bark. I would say if you gotta DMT it, let's do it that way instead of milking toads. Okay? Give me 5 people that think we should just use the bark instead of toad milk. Me too, Nip. I have currently no desire to DMT, and I've heard some mind-blowing stories about, some DMT action. But I'm in Nymphomama's Corner with Lynette, okay? I'm sticking to it's fun to make though. You feel like, oh man, I'm Mr. Extract, like Dr. Extract over here. It was fun to make. I made up a whole little pile of it. It's funny though, it takes a whole lot to make just, oh gosh, you don't get much of a return. We did it though, we did it as a group live, and then watched it as, we put it in the pans, put it in the freezer, watched it crystallize and stuff like that. And it was an absolutely fun like experiment or things to do together. Okay, that was really a neat thing to do. PCP. Somebody just mentioned PCP. Aaron. I might have told you guys this story once when I was 16, 17 years old, and a bunch of guys are going to get together. I think it was one of our buddies' birthdays, and his parents aren't going to be home, which means house party. And we're passing a joint around, and everybody takes a hit or two, and I take a hit, and I'm like, I didn't really say anything, but I goes, this tastes terrible. I don't like this at all. It goes around again, and everybody sort of just stopped taking it. I mean, stopped smoking after 2 or 3 hits. And I'm like, the joint's now in my hand, so I bogart the thing. After we're done, the guy who rolled the thing said, hey, or that brought the guy to the party, goes, so what'd you think of my PCP joint? I'm like, I'm really high. This is no lie. They catch me. I hear about this stuff 2 to 3 days later because I lost it. My memory or whatever I was doing that night. Evidently, I was a wrestling champion. I wrestled everybody in the house and like pinned them all. And one of the guys was in all-state wrestling. He says, you wouldn't believe it, Kirby. You pinned us all. They also went, they had to pull me off of the roof of the house. Yeah, you climbed up this trellis over here and then over across this gutter. And the next thing you know, you were rappelling. And then you wanted to jump into the pool. But the pool's like 30 feet away from the roof. But you thought if you got a running start, so we had to pull you off of the roof. If my friends weren't there, I would have died. If my friends weren't there, I would have died. I OD'd on this stuff. Go home the next day, and I couldn't get out of bed. I feel really sick. So I didn't have to go to school for like 2 or 3 days because I was noticeably, I never told her exactly what it was, but it was, boy, was that a dangerous drug. And we didn't have a clue what we were doing. What was this? See, Michael Patterson, same thing. Like I guaranteed I was ODing on it. Not OD to the hospital, but OD to like my friends saving my life at the party. They're like, you wouldn't believe what a maniac you were. And like that was the days before cell phones. That was the days before when they could have cataloged what I was doing. You gotta be really careful when you're doing stuff that you don't know what the heck you're playing with. Dumb kids. And DMT can get you a little carried away too. Yeah, it really, I didn't even know. That's the shame. That's the kind of thing that makes angel dust. That's what it was. We called it, Corey. Angel dust. That's the thing that I'm so opposed to, so incredibly opposed to, is dosing someone and they're not aware of it. It is the height of irresponsibility. I was telling you guys that TV show recently that I was watching, The 9 Perfect Strangers. Great show. I'm enjoying the heck out of this show until about episode 5, when the director of the wellness retreat doses people with mushrooms and didn't tell anybody up front. You know, oh, this is great. We're having a wonderful time. And then what she do? She ups the dose on them. And I was okay. I'm not watching and I liked the show. I go, I'm not watching the rest of that show. I'm boycotting. Okay? The deal is you want everybody to know exactly what they're doing, exactly what they're getting involved in, and you want to be there. You want a non-doser to be around when real dosing is getting going. Now, I'm not talking about a microdose at home, but I'm hesitant to take more than a gram or so without at least somebody being around that, can help me to the couch. And I'll get through it and I'll have something revealed, guaranteed. Okay? Yeah, be careful with that business. I have the neatest article I will share with you guys tomorrow. The neatest article. Hold on, let me tell you what it is. Okay. Can your brain run out of memory? Let's talk about that tomorrow. How does our brain work with memory? They're getting so much more neuroscience today because we have instruments, MRIs, and all other things, sensors. We have different ways now that we can measure brain activity that we've never been able to in the past. Sleep activities. So we're really starting to see, quote unquote, inside our head and inside of our brains. And the neuroscientists are really starting to figure out a lot of stuff. And the brain, as some of you know, the brain absolutely fascinates me because of its complexity and neuroplasticity. Can I grow new brain cells? I remember being told when we were young, you start out with 8,753,412 brain cells, whatever, and and they'll only die. You can't replace any of them. We're finding out that's not true. We're finding out that there's even missing wiring, quote unquote, connections that can be wired for the first time. Brain is fascinating. Crazy place. I love the brain. And one of the reasons I've been reading a lot, like armchair neuroscientists coming up over here. Because at the end of the day, isn't that where our psychedelic experiences are? They're in two places in me. They're in my brain and they're in my soul. And the soul's the one I can't measure. The soul is the one that we haven't been able to find a way to measure a soul. They've done mountains of research on this. A dying body, weigh it, continue to weigh it as you die and the spirit, quote unquote, the spirit releases. Have we found that the soul weighs anything? There was a couple of guys that did it and came up with some information. They said, yep, the soul weighs in some infinitesimal amount. And then they went back and they found out that it was a faulty test. That maybe the scale was jiggling or moving just a little bit. We have not seen that the soul really weighs anything scientifically. Haven't been able to prove it yet. And the few studies that have come back to say that there's weight, dive deeper into the test, and the test had some faults. Interesting. We'll look into that tomorrow. Brain, memory, and weight. Mark says it weighs 2 saltine crackers. I think Derek's got it right. I think it weighs about as much as a rainbow. And I like that one, Derek. Let me look up that information. I think that we have been proven that it really, we haven't been able to accurately, comprehensively, scientifically weigh it. And I guess it's still being looked at. There's probably, we'll look at it. I like Derek's though. I like Derek. I think my soul weighs about as much as, but who's rainbow? How big is the rainbow, Derek? How big is the rainbow? See, now we're getting complicated again. Mizu, I don't think, good morning, Mizu. I don't think we are advanced enough. And the tests, I don't think we have, well, we have scales that'll weigh down to like the nanoparticle or something, but I'll look it up. I don't want to sit here and blab like I don't know, but I'm going back in my memory. And the last I'd heard, the couple of tests that said, yep, the soul weighs something, they peer-reviewed the tests and said there were faults with the test. So, boo to the data. So we'll see. Sue, that sounds neat. Driving through a rainbow. Every time I get near a rainbow, it disappears on me. So we're going to look at our brains tomorrow. And then there's one more really, really neat article that's just come out. And it's about, we're going to dive just a little more into microdosing. We want to always keep the concept of microdosing current with us. Microdosing is both for working with your addiction, depression, PTSD, traumas, but even just for maintaining mental wellness. The regimen for your microdosing can be really, really important. And we're going to look at some of the science of microdosing and how it can impact your brain and your memory. So we'll look at that tomorrow. Neuropathy, that's good. Let us dive into some Brené Brown. Brené Brown, Atlas of the Heart. These are the tougher emotions, but we have to discuss them. We don't have to, but we're going to. We believe in being well-rounded. We talked a lot about gratitude, tranquility, contentment. All things that I want to practice, and I am practicing. But what places do we go to when we feel wronged? It's going to happen. Planet Earth, we're going to feel wronged. I can tell you, you'll feel a lot less wronged if you find yourself practicing the 4 agreements. Because the second agreement is what? What's the second agreement? I quote them to you here every single day. Agreement number 2. Nifrmana, nailing it. Don't take things personally. Don't even take yourself personally. You'll feel a lot less wronged by the planet, by the world, by your friend, by your colleague, by a rando drive-by, if you don't take things personally. And then let's add the 3rd step, if you just don't have any expectations. I can't get angry at you if I had 0 expectations of you. That's just, you did what you did. That'd be like getting angry at the dog in the yard because he barked. Dogs bark. Now I can train him. I don't want him to bark as much. But I'm not angry at him for doing what he does. It's what he does. I won't feel contempt. I won't feel disgust. You can't dehumanize me. You can't dehumanize me. If I'm not taking things personal and I'm not feeling expectations, if I'm being impeccable, you can't take away my humanity. You can't make me feel less human. You can't make me hate. The only person that can make me hate, there's only one person on planet Earth that has the power, the enormous power to make me hate. Who do you think that is? Have a great day, Ellen. Who do you think that is? Say it out loud. Oh, I hate this. I. Hate is usually preceded by the pronoun I. It would be virtually impossible to feel self-righteousness if I'm not taking things personal. None of the righteousness on the planet is due to me. Just my own personal actions. You know, in the past, some of those places that I stood up on pulpits and I preached hellfire and brimstone at people, it was coming from such a place of self-righteousness. I know you don't. I'm right. You aren't. That's what cults do. We were talking yesterday about demanding things. I asked you guys rhetorically. I said, do I demand anything from anybody here? Universally, the answer seems to be the one I think. No, I don't. That's a sign of a non-cult. Did you know that? Cults demand from you. They demand your time, they demand your attention, they demand your opinion to be the same. Often they demand us to wear the same things. They demand ceremony. They demand lifting some guy up who's demanding something from you. Anti-cults do the exact opposite. You just said it, Lynette. Anti-cults do the exact opposite. No demands. No self-righteousness. Let's talk about anger today. That's nice, Aaron. Anger. If you look across the research, you'll learn that anger is an emotion that we feel when something gets in the way of a desired outcome, or when we believe there's a violation of the way things should be. That's called an expectation. When we believe there's a violation of the way things should be. When we have an expectation. The 4 agreements are so beautiful. There were 5 times last weekend when I was with my sisters, and something would come up. I go, I'm going to practice the 2nd agreement with you guys right now. No, I go, watch. Let's not take that personal. Oh, wow, that's great. Whatever that person just did, it's not personal. There were different times that I was able to, because my sisters was just opening them up to this is the life I'm living. living. I'm trying to live by 4 very simple, and they've seen me at every extreme. They've seen me on every pulpit. They've seen me on every milk box at every Venice beach. They've heard it all. You're different today, Pops. You're a lot calmer. Things don't bug you like they used to. It's because I don't have the expectations I used to have. Anger is a direct result of that. Resentment, direct result. Anger is an emotion that we feel when something gets in the way of a desired outcome, or when we believe there's a violation of the way things should be. When we feel anger, we believe that someone or something else is to blame for an unfair or unjust situation, and that something can be done to resolve the problem. Is anger an active emotion or a passive emotion? Is anger an active or a passive emotion? Ask yourself an answer. Which do you think it is? I'm agreeing with Derek. I'm agreeing with Derek. It's an action emotion. It's very active. The researchers can take our emotions and they can divide them up into 3 different categories: active, passive, and intermodal. Anger is an action emotion. We want to do something when we feel it and when we're on the receiving end of it. Additionally, according to Charles Spielberger, an influential anger researcher, angry feelings can vary in intensity, from mild irritation to annoyance to fury and to rage. Bull, bull, bull. You can keep moving up the scale. Who's ever moved up the scale of anger? Oh. Who's ever ran around raging? What did I get for it? What was the end result of my rage? Did I accomplish anything? Did I change somebody's idea? Or did I just waste a lot of neural energy? Anger is also a full contact emotion because it activates our nervous system and it can hijack our thoughts and behaviors. You ever had anger hijack your thoughts or your behaviors? I can't even stop screaming and yelling. I can't stop slamming doors. Man, I get in a rage. I'm not a wall puncher, but there's wall punchers. There's people that are doing stuff when they're in the midst of anger, cannot control it. You just have to wait, work through the rage, work through the anger. We can get so ramped up on anger that we completely lose control. Either you've done it or you know somebody that's like that. I wonder if peace doesn't work like that. Peace never makes me lose control. Tranquility doesn't do that to me. I never have to slam or break anything or scream repulsive statements at somebody when I'm in tranquility or a peace emotion. But boy, anger can get me there. Just based off of that alone, wouldn't it be a good idea to avoid anger? But Pops, how can I do that? We just talked about it. Practice the second and third agreement. Just practice it. You feel it coming? It's like, wait a minute, where's this coming from? A, I must be taking something personal. And B, there's an expectation not being met somewhere. And I'm in the midst of overreacting. I'm well on my way up the anger scale right now. How can I stop it? 10 deep breaths. 10 really nice deep breaths. Reorganize your thoughts and say, let me start over with the first agreement. Let me be impeccable. If I've already screwed up and I've already said something or I've already exhibited anger, I can stop right now, go to impeccable. Impeccable says that I sinned. Sin just means I missed the target this time. When I started doing that, I started yelling, I started slamming, I started smashing. Boop, stop. Go back to impeccable. Don't blame yourself. You're a human. You're still learning how to practice. But you can stop. Your rage is controllable. If we back up to our first agreement and say, I made a mistake. I was wrong. Impeccable people say that. They don't say I'm perfect. They said I just sinned. Archery. A shot at a target I missed. I can shoot again, and each time I shoot again, I'll come closer to the mark. Pretty soon, I'm at the non-anger stage. I don't need to get angry as a response. What I need to do as a response is own anything I did to create it. That's impeccable. Don't take any of it personal, even against myself. Oh, you're a dumb idiot, you got angry again. No, I got angry one less time, and I'm learning how to manage it. A lot of relationships need that. Somebody raises their voice at us, we start raising it back, raise. Next thing you know, you're in a full-fledged scream out. Because neither person took 10 seconds out, 10 breaths out, and said, let me go back to impeccable. Impeccable people don't yell at each other. If I can't get my point across, if I can't communicate with this person right now, it's not about me personally, it's not about them personally. I just can't. So I'm going to avoid this situation for now. Time out. It's one of those things, it's one of those tools we just need to use better. The timeout tool. Look, can we revisit this in 15 or 20 minutes? I need to calm down. I need to find out what I'm doing that's causing all of this inside of me. Is any of this resonating with anybody out there? Is any of this resonating? I hope so. Because we all get there. Pops, what do you do when you get angry? I get so less angry today because I'm already looking at how my second and third agreement work. I'm already willing to be the impeccable person that I'm capable of and tell somebody I screwed up. I made a mistake. It's hard to keep yelling at somebody that's looking you right in the eye and said, you're right, I made a mistake. That stops a lot of stuff right there. The four agreements literally walk us through anger, and we don't even need to experience it. We need to know it's out there. We need to know we're capable of going there. But we also need to understand the enormous power that we have. Enormous power to avoid these. You're one of the most powerful people on the planet Earth. If you can say, I actively have the capacity to avoid being angry and taking my anger out on things around me and people around me and myself. Anger is a full contact emotion because it activates our nervous system and it can hijack our thoughts and our behaviors. It could take a real toll on our mental and physical health. There's people whose hearts blow up and they die of a heart attack in the middle of a rage. Researchers explain that regulating and coping with anger, rather than holding on to it or expressing chronic anger, is crucial for the health of our brain. It reduces psychiatric problems, and it's healthy for other organs in our body. You want to live longer? You want your organs to be healthier? Wait till I read a study to you guys tomorrow. The older rats in this study I'm going to read to you guys tomorrow, they've been given psilocybin. The older rats that have been given the psilocybin versus those that haven't live 30% longer. 30% longer. Pops, what's an old rat? I was like, what is an old rat? Somewhere around 19 or 20 months old, a rat. So a rat that's somewhere around 19 or 20 months old in the research milieu is equal to a human that's between 65 and 70. So basically, I'm about a 19-month-old rat right now. 19-month-old rat and myself are like this. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Isn't that cool? I'm about a 19-month-old rat. Oh, I think that's pretty funny. There's also an interesting biological compound to anger. A substantial amount of research indicates that our propensity for anger and aggression is partially hereditary. You gotta blame mom and dad. I believe this. My parents could get really angry. So I think it's hereditary, and it's also sociological. It's also your environment. But I think I started out with an angry gene. Around my house. Well, if that's the model, well, that's one way to communicate. It's partially hereditary. I like that because what it does, it gives us an inborn excuse. It's not your fault. But now that you're aware of it, it becomes your responsibility. Does that make sense? Nobody can blame you for the gene. But once you're aware of it, and you've experienced it or you've expressed anger and saw how debilitating it really was, how it really got you nowhere, how it just destroys relationships and organs. Once you're aware, that creates responsibility. And the greatest part of this is, that's right, Sharon, the greatest part is how we have these 4 very, very simple tools to use when we feel that active emotion coming on. The very, very simple tools. Number 1, be impeccable. The truth is, if we were practicing impeccability to begin with, the opportunity for anger to even arise is nil. When I am operating impeccably, there's no reason for anger. I don't experience it. Not taking things personal. Nowadays, I say out loud, you cannot get me angry. I used to be able to, oh man, you could trigger me in a minute. I was a trigger happy. And I say it now, I'm not saying I don't get angry. I'm saying you can't get me angry. There's only one person on the planet that can get me angry, that has the power to turn on anger, and has the power to keep it going and turn it into rage. There's only one person. Me. Is that interesting? You want to go get angry at somebody today? Go ahead. You're not acting impeccably. You probably had expectations. Something personal is going on. And I can guarantee you that that isn't your best. It's certainly not the best for any of your physiological conditions. Number 3, well, number 1, be impeccable. Number 2, don't take things personal. Number 3, have no expectations. Anger is really hard to come up with when you just do it because it's you're doing what's kind and good. Anger is very hard, very far away from that. And anger is extremely far away from doing my best. If I'm in anger mode, I'm almost exact opposite of doing my best. I'm doing my worst. I'm doing my worst communicating. I'm doing the worst thing I can do to my brain, psychiatrically, and I'm doing the worst thing I can do to my body. I'm literally practicing self-destruction. Remember that in the moment, right before you flare. Peace, tranquility. Michael Patterson would say Shanti. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you here tomorrow. We have some really neat more stuff to discuss. Some more of those negative active emotions, but we want to discuss them. Because at the end of the day, we have control over it. It is such a powerful thing. You couldn't have told me 10 years ago, you can control it. I didn't have the tools. Today, I know exactly what tools I have, and I know how to use them. And if I practice, I'll get better at it. Have a great day, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me preach up a show over here. I guarantee you I'm preaching to myself first. Every word that leaves my mouth is going into my ear before it even comes to yours. So these are things I need to remind myself as I practice and I grow. And you guys give me that opportunity here. Thank you. Sincerely. Let's keep doing this together. Like, we can't do it alone. Much as we want to sometimes. Let's not do it alone. I need you. Pacers. Billy D. Jesus Christ in Australia. Laura, have a divine day. Excuse me, 5280 all day. I hope you have a great Mountain Mush Fest. Good morning, Sharon the Sparky Sparkerton. John Zook, you see what happens physiologically. Jesus Christ and Laura, 5280. Tranquility Base to Michael Patterson. Come in, please. John Zook, Cleany, love you. And if you everyone have a beautiful day, don't take anything personally. Sammy P, Derek Anderson, Justin Robinson, Lynette, Nerdy Sharon the Sparky Sparkerton, Kimberly, Sammy P, HP, doing his best, Herbie Von Werby Kebab, Marky Z, 5280 all day, Mr. Phillips, Mizzou, I'm glad to see you. Hey, that rhymed. Pidgey Page, Pacers, Solly Maldo, Derek, Michael Patterson, Jesus Christ, Justin LaFlower, John Zook, Kimberly, the Golden Bolden, and boy is she golden. Kim, you guys have got to maybe broadcast something on an IG from the Mush Fest, like on Saturday. Take 15 or 20 minutes and do a live. Let's talk about that Thursday and Friday. Pick somebody in the group that can do an IG live, and we're going to check you guys out. Hanging out in the woods. Nipper Mama, Donnie Fife, Jesus Christ, Herbie and Derek Anderson, Marky Z, Nerdy, Deborah the Pearl Pearlton, 5280, Anthony T, Wazzy, you have a great day, my good friend. Kimberly and Deborah Pearl, Herbie, you would be a perfect one. Between you and Kim, you guys have some experience hosting this kind of business. Let's get something live feed and let us know when it's going to be so I can plug in. I want to watch you guys and be there vicariously through you. Nerdy and Jesus Christ and Pops and Peace and Love. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Hug your wife, husband, and children. Out.